much like in real life, there's a lot of gray area when a traumatic accident can happen. And oftentimes what happens is a jury has to decide whether or not a defendant's been negligent, but they feel there can be more than just one party that bears responsibility for an accident. Sometimes that means part of the plaintiff, the person who's brought the lawsuit, bears some responsibility. And sometimes it means multiple defendants bear some responsibility. And it all has to be carved up with a 100% total, obviously. And so because the world is gray, and oftentimes there's lots of judgments that are made that ultimately lead to an accident, oftentimes what happens is that at trial, the jury gets asked whether a defendant was negligent, whether it related to the accident itself, but ultimately at the end to decide what percentages to attribute. And that can directly impact how much money and who owes what to pay you for your damages at the end of the case. And it can get a little bit more convoluted in certain circumstances. Every single defendant, even if they're 1% responsible, have to pay you the whole and sort out the rest amongst the other defendants. That's something called joint and several liability, which applies to certain types of cases. But it's always important in these cases to try to clarify the issues so that the jury can see how to appropriately and reasonably carve up the fault of a trauma to all the responsible parties in a reasonable way.